Hokazono, you have truly moved me. Kagurabachi chapter 31 is out. You better believe we are going to talk about it. First, let me pay respects to this beautiful cover art. It really encapsulates this arc perfectly. The chapter starts off right where we left off at, with the man who supposedly killed Chihiro's father telling Chihiro that he really has grown up. Chihiro is really about to lose it this time. He's thinking back to the last moments he spent with his father and that hand tattoo that he could never forget. Chihiro, obviously worked up, presses against him with both of his blades, asking if he's from the Hishaku, the clan that did his father in, and how many of them are there. Asking him why is he here, he responds with he's surprised that Chihiro maintains his composure enough to interrogate him. He lets him know that he is the leader of the Hishaku. He lets him know that he's responsible for the murder of his father. He tells him that it is pointless to try to talk to him. He speaks when he feels like it. He says for him to just shut up and try and kill him already. He ducks underneath Chihiro's blades, hitting him with an uppercut. Chihiro reacts to him, popping up behind him saying he's fast, and reacts himself by calling out Mei and moving a little quicker. The Hishaku leader then plants his foot off the wall and kicks Chihiro back into the wall of trees. Chihiro, still frazzled, obviously says that this is the leader of the Hishaku, literally what he's been working up to this entire moment. The leader says that there's less output than before. He's wondering if Chihiro is losing power now that the Cloud Gouger is broken, or is it because he just started using it? He comes to the conclusion that it could possibly be both. He tells Chihiro to stay still because the auction is about to begin. We then cut to Kura Sazanami talking about how there's a special item in the auction today. We get a little bit of lore about everything, saying 18 years ago, Japan fell into a crisis. They were attacked by an enemy and the Seiti War started. Despite gathering all the sorcerers around Japan, they were still at a disadvantage until Chihiro's father, Kunishige Rokuhira, changed everything for them. Chihiro is still so taken back by all of this information that's in front of him, he just starts asking more questions. Why are they putting the Shinoichi up for auction? What is he after? How many are in his group? Why is he here? Did he know about him? He then asks simply, what is he after? And questions are still going on for him. Why did he give Shoujo the Cloud Gouger? Why? Why the Shinoichi? What's his goal? Why the enchanted blades? And the question Chihiro really wants to know, even looking like he's holding back tears, I love this panel here. Why did you kill my father? We then get some more lore about the Shinoichi blade, which is like a quadruple down at this point, talking about how powerful the blade is and how different it is. He says the 5 enchanted blades turned the tables of the war, but the 6th one led our country to victory. Going back to the leader, he lets Chihiro know that there was one simple answer for killing him, because it was a declaration of war. He says the enchanted blade, known as the Shinoichi. Tonight, after 18 years, this masterpiece will be unleashed once again. It's all so that he can wield the Shinoichi. Love him or hate him, he's definitely talking about bringing a new era to Japan. At this point, the lore is running so deep, I'm so excited to see our end goal this early on in the story. Almost all great stories have a moment like this, and Kagurabachi is no different. He lets Chihiro know that he's been helping out with the Sazanami family to get close to the auction so he can grab the hold of the Shinoichi blade. Chihiro's questioning more, saying why does the auctioning of the Shinoichi help him wield it, and if he does eventually control it, what does he want to do with it? And we get another PTSD beach panel. The leader of the Hishaku, the strongest enchanted blade, it bodes nothing but bad news. He simply cannot get a hold of this weapon. Chihiro thinking about how crooked everything is, and he says that he can't let them get away with this. He declares that they won't get away with it. And he literally just suns Chihiro, 2 fingers to his forehead, telling him he doesn't understand how it works. He says the enchanted blades don't choose people, anyone can enslave them. And here is our second ideology clash. This one is much more serious than Shoujo's. Chihiro asks why hasn't he done a man like his father then? He says he's simply too green to harvest. He says he relies on the Cloud Gouger, but it isn't much of a threat anymore, so he can fight, but his situation is getting worse. There's nothing that he could currently do. He asks him to have a little chat. He's curious to see what all the hatred he sowed those years ago turned into. And that's all this has merely been for him, a simple game to get his hands on the Shinoichi and see what would come of Chihiro Rokuhira. I absolutely love the main villain vibe so far. I love all the themes that he's pushing. I cannot wait to see what comes of this. He tells him that the auction just started. He tells him that he won't bore him. He has a lot to tell him. He says, for example, what happened after his father died. Chihiro tells him to shut up and that he's going to pay. We get another flashback of Chihiro thinking back to his father, saying that they need to be stopped. Those blades are special to him. Thinking back to even the leader's words, anyone can enslave them, you just started to use it. He absolutely rejects this, saying no. He's cleaning the blades, thinking about memories of his father. He says he was at his side this whole time. He won't let him die like this. And Chihiro calls for Mei, saying, die at my side. Shred. That's the end of the chapter. It seems as though we have a break next week, but we are definitely not short of Kagurabachi content. We have to dive deep into this chapter and uncover every hidden message and every foreshadow, everything about it. Kagurabachi really is next up in Shonen Jump. A lot of people were hating, saying the series was going to get axed. 30 chapters is a pretty good sign for a series, and we are at 31 currently with our first break. If you like Kagurabachi content, make sure to hit that follow. We talk about a lot of anime and manga on this channel. And if you have any other series you would like me to deep dive or cover chapters on, let me know in the comments as well. Peace.